Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles Sebastian, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a pretty interesting show. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel, and be sure to hit all notifications to be notified the second we publish our content so you don't miss out on anything. Let me get into this topic here. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about the Clippers, right? And the Dallas Mavericks facing off for the third time. I think since 2020, I think they played in 2020, 2021, and now 2024, right? And it's something that's, that I'm very interested in because my favorite player is going to be playing in that series. Now, the Clippers have had a pretty interesting season. The moment they pulled off the James Harden trade, there was a lot of turbulence. I think they lost 6 games in a row, 5 with him. And then they went on this 29-5 tear, or 31-6 tear, or something like that, where they were looking like clearly the best team in the NBA without a shot of a doubt. And at that time, a lot of people were picking them to be the real threat to the Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference. People like Kendrick Perkins and Stephen A. Smith. But after the All-Star break, the Clippers lost a lot of their mojo. They lost a lot of their momentum. They weren't playing the same way. And then they started dealing a little bit with the injury bug with Paul George and now Kawhi Leonard. So a lot of people have kind of cooled off on the Clippers, which, by the way, is totally understandable. So what happened? We now know that the Clippers are going to be facing the Dallas Mavericks in round 1 as the 4 versus 5 matchup, and is going to be starting with the Clippers. So they were discussing this yesterday on ESPN with Kendrick Perkins and Stephen A. Smith. And to my surprise, both Kendrick Perkins and Stephen A. Smith decided to totally jump ship and abandon the Clippers and say they don't really believe that they can come out of this series. So for those of you who didn't hear that, I want to play for you now, and I'm going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to these gentlemen here.
Who are you giving the edge in this series?
I would love to tell you the Los Angeles Clippers because I've had so many expectations for them. But you're asking me to believe that Kawhi Leonard is healthy. And you're also asking me to believe that I should have no concerns whatsoever that James Harden is going to answer the call. Obviously, if both things are true, the Clippers should win this series. But what we've seen from the Dallas Mavericks is something special. Luka Doncic is a league MVP candidate, averaging nearly a triple-double at 34 points with 9 and 9 and assist and rebounds, over 9. Then you've got Kyrie Irving, who, as far as I'm concerned, is I got a comeback player of the year. Because Lord knows he got into some stuff last year and he was been distracted over the last few years. And for him to be on the court this year doing what he has been doing, he has been nothing short of spectacular. And then before the trading deadline, again, Gaffey and these brothers, I'm just looking at the Dallas Mavericks right now, and I just think the momentum that they have, the way that they've been flowing, it's pretty difficult to bet against them this early, and I'm not going to do it. I'm going to tell you right now, I think that Dallas is going to win this series.
And I'm rolling with you. They look more like a team. When we talk about Luka, I always said this. He's the most dangerous player in the Western Conference outside of Jokic. We haven't seen Kyrie Irving play with this much joy since Moby Dick was a goldfish.
I didn't know Moby Dick was a goldfish.
He's playing with joy, but then you look at the other pieces. We're looking at P.J. Washington, what he's bringing to the table, looking like a 3-and-D guy. We're looking at Gafford being a live threat at the basket, Lively coming in off the bench, Tim Hardaway getting back healthy. They look well coached and they look locked in.
I'm glad you said that. That's a perfect segue.
So you heard what those gentlemen had to say. Now, the Clippers have faced the Mavericks 3 times this season. In those 3 victories, they beat them 2 times, right? And the Mavs won the matchup in November. Now, what's important to point out is that the Mavericks did have an upgrade to their roster after the trade deadline. So now their roster, I'm just going off of CBS Sports, is comprised of Tim Hardaway Jr., Josh Green, Luka Doncic, of course, Kyrie Irving, Derrick Jones Jr., Markieff Morris, Dwight Powell, P.J. Washington. There's another player. I just want to make sure I get his name right because I know the dude. He was a former Boston Celtic. I forgot his name. He's a defensive specialist. I cannot find him right now for whatever reason. They're not showing his name, but y'all know who I'm talking about. I think it's Derek White. I'm trying to find his name right now, but he's there. He's a defensive specialist guy. He's a strong guy, big body. I'm just trying to see if I can. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, for whatever reason, I'm not seeing him. Unless they got rid of him, I can't see him on ESPN.com and all of that. But anyway, I think he's playing with the Mavs, but I can't see him right now. But anyway, they got some very good players, right? And they upgraded their roster, which means that their defense also got enhanced. So a lot of people are saying, listen, the team that the Clippers beat is a different team, not this Dallas Mavericks team who has been on a tear, who has been winning a lot of their games going into, the end of the regular season. On the other hand of the Clippers, they haven't really had such a good final stretch. They're barely a 500 team, and Kawhi Leonard has missed, he's missed a lot of games, like at least 7-8 games. So you have that situation there. Now, that's what we know about the rosters. There's also something else which we need to deal with, which is the perception of what's going to happen. Now, most people that you speak to, or a good amount of the people that you speak to, are saying that Luka Doncic is going to torch the hell out of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. I beg to differ. As someone that has seen every series that these two guys have gone against each other, Luka just essentially keeps spamming screens until he gets his favorable matchup. Historically, he would look for Ivica Zubac, or he would look for Patrick Beverley. This year, what's going to happen is he's going to look for James Harden, and he's going to look for Zubac, which is going to then force the hand of Ty Lue to go small, and then that's when we really start getting into the X's and O's. He's not going to see Kawhi Leonard. How do I know this? Because we just want to show you a quick graphic. In the games in which Luka Doncic was defended by Kawhi Leonard, in 65 possessions, he scored 22 points on 37.5% shooting and 30.8% shooting from the three. That was the last time they faced each other. While Kawhi Leonard on 35 possessions when he was defended by Luka scored 19, shot 50% from the field and 50% from the three. Also something worth noting, Luka Doncic has a 12-19 record against the LA Clippers, including getting eliminated from the playoffs twice. His 19 losses against the Clippers are the most against any opponent in his career. Now, what are my thoughts going into this series? First thing I'm going to address, because I know we got a lot of cornballs in the comment section and dweebs. What's going to happen is the following. Of course, I got my haters out there. They weigh in. If the Clippers lose, they're going to be like, oh, you said they were going to win. You're going to win. But these jokers, I'm talking about Stephen A. Smith and Kendrick Perkins, they get to pick them and then change their mind, and they don't get no smoke. That's the first thing I just wanted to point out, just to show you guys that. In terms of this series, the number one thing I'm most concerned about is not Luka Doncic. The number one thing I'm most concerned about is Kawhi's availability. That is it. I'm not focusing too much on Luka. If Kawhi is going to be healthy, I haven't seen him play. I suspect he's going to play because now he'll probably have 3 weeks off. The rest, his sore knee or knee inflammation, I don't know what it is. Then I'm cool. Let the chips fall where they may. I was listening to the Clippers assistant head coach yesterday after the loss. Yeah, it was yesterday, and the Clippers, for whatever reason, seem so ready to face the Mavericks. They just seem so eager. They really wanted that force. I'm like, you're going to face the Mavericks, and they just don't really seem to care. It's like they want to face this team. So we should definitely see how it goes. And the question to you guys is, who do you think win this series? Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comments, and we catch you on the next show. Peace.